What's going on, everybody? Go Giants.
Are they winning or losing? They're playing tonight, right?
They're losing right now. Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal
Well,
YouTube
since you
channel.
brought that up, go Bears.
I typed in
Little winning
the
streak.
I hit you up on Discord. I don't know if you saw that. I was that very impressive win by
Very
the
impressive
Chicago
win
Bears.
versus a good Lions team. Yes, sir. I'll take
Right.
it.
So I can't complain about that.
No,
Hello,
no, no.
everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Pedro had a fantastic weekend. I think he was
Yeah.
we was in the owner's box. So right now, Pedro,
Yeah.
he's a YouTube celebrity. So he drove himself to Kansas City to see the Chiefs lose, and he was hanging out and doing his thing. But tell everyone how was that trip?
Yeah,
To
so
Kansas?
went to KC, did tailgating. It was crazy. Good time. We did not meet Taylor Swift, but I saw where she was at. But the guys in front of us had like these binoculars and these camera angles. I could see her in the box.
Is that a little creepy to do that though?
It is
whole
very
binocular.
I was not, but the guy in front of us was doing it, and he's like, "Yo, look!" And I was like, "Fuck it, okay." Anyways, no, but it was a good game. My brother got some seats, really good seats, man. Crazy game. We'll get into a little bit of what happened at the end. Back and forth game, little controversy, obviously at the end. The whole sports world's talking about today. I think people might have varying opinions on it. I have mine, Hannibal will have his. But first Arrowhead experience, it was dope. The only negative was leaving there. From when we walked out to when we got to the actual street out of the parking lot was over an hour to get out of that.
I think is that for every football stadium? Like that's why
Probably.
some people leave dumb. Like when your team is getting destroyed, you might as well leave early so you can get to your car faster. Because if you it's either stay and chill, just stay. Like okay, like you said, it's thousands of people leaving at the same time. It's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
Or leave as fast as possible. But I was assuming. But how was the prices? Was it expensive for the drinks, the food? Like was it like
it's standard, about the standard prices. I only bought pre-game, so we had the beers and everything and the food before because we tailgated. So that was, and then I only bought one beverage, one cocktail during the game. Yeah. And my brother knew somebody there. They brought us some hot cocoa. That was cool. But I didn't spend any money there. We had a great dinner. Went to Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse at Harrah's Casino. Me and my brother. Fantastic meal there. So it was a great weekend, man. It was really, really, really good. So
awesome. Glad to hear that. There's a lot of football. I mean, that's the reason why he was heading over there. So, you know what? Let's get into it since you were there. So we have a live witness to the Chiefs and live. He was there. Okay. So what is the confusion? In my opinion, once the first, all right, it's live. No one knows what's going on, right? The play happens, whatever. Then it turned out it was offsides. Patrick Mahomes loses his mind, like loses his shit. But after a while, like after the game, you're looking at the replay, you see the guy is offside. So like, where is the anger still? Like, all right, initially you didn't know, but now you do know. Tony fucked up. I mean, he made a mistake. You usually beat the Bills. You probably was going to beat him if he didn't do that, but it happened. Is it frustration because of that one play, that one situation, or the Chiefs are losing some games, and now it's becoming a little bit of concerns? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, great points. All very valid. I don't think they react this way if they're not on the current losing streak that they're on. They're 8-5. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, since he's been in their league for 7 years, have ever had 5 losses, and they still got 4 games to go. Definitely frustrating. I think he's frustrated with his wide receivers. They have 33 drops this year. I'm going to bring some facts to the table.
Okay.
There's a lot going on with the Chiefs. They're not as scary of a team, and they're not playing that great this year. This is the issue. I'm going to drop some hard facts. So Patrick Mahomes lost his mind. He never does that.
Yes.
He's very measured in press conferences. Andy Reid pretty much too, right? They both lost their shit. This is why. Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely.
Very respected coach, Hall of Fame. He has two Super Bowls. Very respected. People don't talk bad about Andy Reid. They just don't. Yeah. He has been on the sideline for almost 26,000 offensive plays. Let me repeat that one more time. He has been on the sideline for 26,000 offensive plays. Under those plays, this has never happened to him in his coaching career. That is a fact.
It happens. So, I mean, shit happens, right? Like weird stuff. It
happens. But to his point, they usually, and they don't have to, we can talk technicalities. They usually say, hey, these guys are a little, coach your guys up. They need to step back or whatever. Patrick Mahomes referenced that. Andy Reid references it. There are 4 times in yesterday's game where Tony and Tony alone lined up technically offsides. 4 times.
Right.
Okay. So, and they choose to call it at the end of the game. When they could have called it, they could have warned them before. Who knows? When you look at Tony get up to the line, he looks and puts his hand up.
And the ref usually supposed to tell him to go back.
Usually will tell him this, or they'll say thumbs up. That's what they do. Now, he's lined up in a slot. He's not on the hashes or whatever, so he's not as close. Maybe the ref didn't see him. Now, I do want to say this. Personal responsibility. Tony has to know better. He's a wide receiver. He's probably been playing football since he's a little kid. You have to know, okay, if you do that and he doesn't look at you, don't be a dumbass and just move your foot back a little bit. Like, he's right. He can look at the ball. So to line up off sides as a wide receiver is egregious, especially in that position of the game.
Yeah.
I can see why the Chiefs are mad. It's a bad call. It sucks, especially in that part of the game. But technically, he was offsides. So the officiating crew is right. But the officiating has been so bad this year, they should not be making it. It's just a bad call, especially when you see him put his hand up and look at that ref. The line judge has a responsibility in the same regard that Tony does. Now, I think Tony should take responsibility. He messed up, but the officiating crew could have done a better job. A game shouldn't be decided in that fashion. And I think the Chiefs got so mad because last week there was a clear pass interference during the Packers game, a game that they lost towards the end of the game as well. So I think things are snowballing for them.
Right.
And, it's reaching a point of frustration. They got to play better. The Chiefs are they're a good football team. They're usually a great football team. Nobody is scared to play the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think they're just frustrated. But for me, horrible call by the ref. That's where I stand. I think it's just ridiculous. So
we gotta figure out. I think at this point, usually when there's a common little issue here, let's figure out a way to do this so every play, or at least in my opinion, I don't have the answer for this, that they can find themselves be able to line up properly. Either, and I understand the refs, it's a gray area. The refs don't want to put themselves in the game by telling you to step back when you should know where the hell you should be. But at the same time, the game is moving fast. There's a lot going on. The rivals, I don't know. It's unwritten rule. Is it a rule? Like, let's get this ironed out so this stuff doesn't happen. I think we need it. That's where, and I have no idea how to fix it. I mean, watching TV, we can see it because it's a digital line. Is it possible to have it on the ground? I have no idea.
Yes, so, I think we have the technology to do those kind of things. I think they do it with baseball, the strike zone. They're trying some things in low A ball baseball games to where, like, you have these umpires in baseball. I know you don't watch a lot, but they'll call these balls and strikes, and it's crazy. When we have the technology at home, I can see if it's a ball or a strike. And, it's a human eye. We don't want to take the human element out of refereeing. It's part of what makes the sport great and gives drama. But we can use technology in a way, I think, in sports to make it more fair and more, like, balanced, because that call's trash, man. I think technically, by the letter of the law, the officiating crew is right. However, in that case, you just can't. It's a bad call, especially when that's been called 2 other times this entire year. Twice. Now, and it's happened more than twice, but it's only been called twice. And to call in that situation of the game, I mean, I think good referees, I'll say this because I don't want to talk too much about it, but I think a good refereeing crew, whether it's NBA or NFL or whatever, you get to, you get to have a mutual respect for the players, and they should give it to them. Refereeing is a very hard job, I can imagine, right?
Yes.
Being ump or ref, extremely hard. Got to be super stressful. These guys take a lot of L's. Right, they can get it right 99 times, but they get it wrong once. We're all going to give them shit. It is what it is. But I saw a clip of a refereeing group before a game going up to Tyreek Hill. That was this year, saying, "Hey, Tyreek, just a couple things. Make sure when you're getting, make sure you're getting completely set, because they know Tyreek Hill does a lot of motion in the offense. So they're telling him, hey, we're looking for this. So I'm giving you a heads up. Just make sure you get set.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to, And then also, hey, if you get a touchdown, don't give me the peace sign, because Tyreek Hill's been fined. And
that's taunting, right?
So exactly. So they tell Tyreek that. Tyreek's response is, "What do you mean? I can't give a peace?" And Tyreek is like, "Okay, I got it. So there's a mutual respect and understanding there. And I don't think that these refs really gave it to the Chiefs in that regard. Now, we don't know the conversations I had at the beginning, but, like, all you got to do, if Tony's looking at you, Tell him to go like that. It didn't the outcome of the play wouldn't have been any different if his pinky toe is down another.
Because the way that the way it was set up, he would be fine.
So it's bad refereeing. That's my opinion.
And they kind of bail out the Bills because I know someone said what about them? Yeah, they're I don't know. Bills are not as strong as I thought as well. No. Let me check. I want to check and see if the Giants are winning. Get some shout outs to the chat real quick, Pedro. Let me look this up real quick.
Yeah. So let me show Big Carl in the house. What's up, bro? Giggity, Noah, our man Nova Hustles, Griner and Levi. Good to see you. Big Giants fan there. Bobby. Let's see who else we got in here. I saw some people here earlier. Oh man, my computer's acting up. Let me see. Noah, Levi, nothing but silicones in the house. Gig Wars officials, Bodacious, Bobby. We got Bud Soda. We got Torp in the house. We got Slim Pippin. Mr. K. We got
all
Gloria.
of the we got all the regulars.
Yeah, Leaf. A lot of the usual suspects. So appreciate y'all for being in here. We got some good topics for y'all tonight.
Well, yeah, and we like to talk sports. I know Gig Wars loves sports. She wrote it right here. I love sports so much. Sports ball. We like sports. Yeah, we like sports too.
Yeah, we do.
Just kidding. But my Giants winning right now. Third quarter, 14-10. The Packers got the ball right now, so we'll see. Packers are 6-6, and the Giants are 4-8. So we're going straight to nowhere. But
I want to say this right now because I looked at some things. What up, Twiggy? What up, Caesar? The Bears. If the Minnesota Vikings lose 3 out of the next 4, if the Bears win out, they have a soft schedule. It's possible.
Yeah.
Minnesota loses 3 out of 4, and one other team loses 2 out of 3, or only wins 2 out of their 4. The Bears are going to get a wild card spot. I know there's a lot that has to happen.
Jesus, Pedro. We
gotta have hope. The Bears are on a win streak. We're going to get the number 1 pick from Carolina Panthers. We're going to select Marvin Harrison with the number 1 pick.
Hopefully you guys pick him.
And we're on the playoff bubble, so I'll take it. It's better than being on the outside.
Well, yeah, obviously. But that's a problem when you have such a bad start. You got a lot of shit has to kind of come together for you. But props to the not giving up the way it kind of came in. Even the Giants with their Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito, whatever that guy name is, he's getting a lot of love for very okay play. Listen,
he is, but it's because his name, the city that he's in.
It's annoying though.
You see his agent on the sideline tonight?
No.
His sports agent came out looking like a gangster. He had like a hat, like a top hat on, a full black suit, jewelry. Like this DeVito kid's playing it up. I don't.
Which is fine. I mean, you gotta get your marketing, your brand, and yes, Italians love to let you know that they're Italian. So it's not, just he's not acting out in terms of that much of a stereotype. Like, hey, just play ball. All right, we're not worried about the branding yet and stuff. And he seemed like a good kid. But at least they're not.
Good point about Italians. Italians are like Puerto Ricans. We love to tell you that we're Puerto
Ricans.
Italians love to tell you they're Italians.
Yeah, and they're loud. It's interesting. We all, different cultures, very loud. Great food. I think Italian food is up there with me. It's up there. I mean, obviously with pizza, but Italian food is delicious. So they can talk shit. It's all good. Good question here from Hector. What do you guys think about Ohtani's contract? So we can talk about it real quick. We can go right into the baseball thing because I know Pedro was talking about baseball real quick. So I actually found $700 million. We'll just go straight right there. $700 million for the LA Dodgers for 10 years to throw a ball. And I guess hit the ball.
And hit the ball.
Yeah. And hit the ball. Fine. That's a lot of goddamn money for a sport, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm turning to like, this is just, so he's almost a billionaire for playing baseball. Fully guaranteed. He will receive that money at 10 years. He will have that's more money than LeBron career total.
Actually, what they're doing, Hannibal, is they're giving him $2 million a year for 10 years. So $680 million is deferred. So starting in 2033 to 2040, 44 or 42 or whatever, 43. The $680 million comes at the end of the contract. So they did that. So he's making peanuts in the beginning, but they want to keep a what do you call it? They want to be able to sign other players.
Right.
So he's deferred $680 million to when he's done with his contract. So this contract is nothing like we've ever seen in professional Northern American sports. It's the richest contract in Northern American sports. I think some of the football players out in Europe make some more. but he's a billionaire at some point because he's already made money with his first deal with the Angels, and he's got mad money coming from Japan on other kind of deals. Like,
yeah, I'm a.
so
No, I
he's
mean,
a billionaire.
it's baseball. You don't obliterate your body like football, like other sports. So he has 7. I mean, yeah, 10 years from now, or it's a very unique contract. I would admit so.
Very unique, yeah.
Man, I mean, yeah.
He's
I
great.
think Levi says he's the best player in the league. He can do it all. That's a lot of goddamn money. And it's interesting because again, I'm not. Does baseball people still watch it? Like, is it still a big deal?
Not as I mean, it's not football and it's not basketball, but it has its diehards. I mean, I look at this deal actually. I know we're saying $700 million. I think this is a fantastic deal for the LA Dodgers because of the deferred money. They make so much money. They got deep pockets. They're going to be fine. If they win a couple of World Series, which they should, they have the best team on paper. This is a great deal. It just is. They got arguably the best hitter in baseball and the best pitcher. So you're getting 2 players in one contract. That's why they did this. He's basically being paid double than everybody else, right? But he's 2 guys. He's the best hitter, the best pitcher. So they got.
Would he be that in 10 years?
No,
5 years. 5 years.
Maybe not in 10.
I mean,
but
listen, I don't know too much about baseball, but I know the New York Yankees. You guys may be familiar with them. They have the most championships. Yeah. All New York do is win. But anyway, all they do is get guys, give them a lot of money for a very long time, and the players immediately after a few years refuse to, or they don't contribute. The same value is not the same. And I've seen this for Albert Pujols. I see a lot of long-term contracts that you give a guy this much for 10 years. You are paying the guy just to show up after a few.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's gonna be a difference between a man that has to pitch and hit. Pitching wears on the body clearly. So I'm just being a little bit of contrarian here. I mean,
no. You're 100% right. I think the only issue with this is his wear down of his body and how healthy he can stay. But if you think about the market in Japan that he brings over to the American game with the merchandising and the sales and the TV stuff, and then also all the jerseys are going to sell. The Dodgers are going to be just fine. An organization like these organizations don't make bad deals usually, so he's going to be fine.
I'm sorry, Pedro. A pay adjustment. You get a pay adjustment. So all right. So it seems like he's worth it for many other reasons. Is there an American-born athlete that's worth $700 million? That if
LeBron James.
Not now, but yeah, if you knew, other than that,
American born,
that you would sign a 10-year, $700 million contract to. Doesn't matter what athlete is.
But clearly nobody. I can't think of anybody else in baseball. Football, American born, maybe Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he got his big contract, and it's not.
Maybe him. A quarterback, I think, is the only other person I can think of.
Hector says no one, not a soul.
You're worth what somebody's willing to pay you.
Tiger Woods. I mean, when he was on, I mean, he became a billionaire. Slim says Justin Fields. I don't think Justin Fields.
No,
Justin Fields.
Can you imagine? Let's say Jordan came into the league a couple of years ago, and he's a young guy. He's in his 4th season right now. Let's say Jordan's in his 4th year, putting up the stats he was putting up when he was a young MJ with the gold necklaces, slam dunk champion, all NBA, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, MVP. What's Michael Jordan getting for a 10-year contract? $1 billion?
Yeah, but the problem is with the NBA, salary cap. I mean, this is the thing about baseball where you can do this kind of crazy stuff because there's no salary, there's no cap, but there's a heavy luxury tax, and it seems like the Yankees don't give a fuck. They pay that yearly. I know they sound Soto like that. So who knows what's going to happen? So I know you're an expert in the baseball. So what the Dodgers do? Because first of all, the Dodgers are already a good team, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they lost. But they're a good team. They're in the playoffs just about every year for the last 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. So they got a lot of good players. I mean, they got 3 MVPs on the team. They got 3 MVPs that have won MVP in the last 4 or 5 years, recent, all on the same team. It's absurd. I can't remember the last time that's happened. So it's going to be an interesting year, but we'll see. I don't know. To segue into one of our topics, we're talking about how to lose friends and alienate everyone. Otani's going to get a lot of new friends tonight with $700 million, right? He's going to have
Yeah.
everybody coming out of the woodworks for his money, I would imagine.
Well, some people were complaining about how private he was with the negotiating. The fact that he would take such a deal. This is such a Japanese thing, right? They think forward. They think ahead. Any other person would be like, hell no, I'm only taking $2 million for 10 years. You lost your mind. You better give me all my damn money. I want to get that giant mansion over there that once I sell it or once I leave, no one's gonna buy it because it's too big and I'm just wasting my money. I want this car. But him is like you said, he's already got money. He's thinking 10 years ahead. That I don't know how they negotiate this contract, but I guess they probably say, listen, if you give away this money now, we can't sign anybody else.
That's probably they probably kept it very simple. And hey, do you care? Are you okay with getting $680 million starting 10 years from now? So it's not kind of a similar contract. Bobby Bonilla, ex-New York Met. So Hector's in here. He remembers this. If you're a baseball fan, 80s and 90s, I think he signed this deal, maybe late 80s. Bobby Bonilla signed a huge contract. I couldn't even tell you. It might have been $100 million or something crazy to go from, I think, the Pirates to the New York Mets. He underperformed, didn't have a good career at the Mets, but they deferred all his money to the end. So every year, there's a Bobby Bonilla Day, as they call it. He gets like a $1 million check on let's call it like April 7th or something. And he's gotten it like the last 20 or 30 years. He gets $1 million check.
Well, yeah, and it was like every year was Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah,
I think it finally ended about a couple of years ago. Where it was like the Mets stopped paying him if he stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those deals work out. You don't want, it's really, I do find it interesting and impressive that he would think about that. But like I said, I think, foreigners, they seem like they got their shit figured out. I know some, like Hector was saying, some soccer players make a ton of money. So that's cool, man. Listen, we'll see what's going on. Maybe I'll try to watch the baseball thing. God, it's just so slow.
I mean, I think if you don't like it by now, you're not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe. Yeah, probably so. Is any other NFL games you care to talk about? I think I'm trying to think. Is there anything else worth?
I'll say this. I'll drop a line. We got some. Obviously, you and Hector and Nova Hustles. You guys are, football fans. Levi was in here. The NFC East. Cowboys look really damn good right now. They've had some really impressive wins. They're blowing teams out. The offense looks good. The Cowboys seem like a little bit better this year than in prior years when they were kind of good. So
Pedro, I bet you right now that the Dallas Cowboys will lose in the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to the Super Bowl. I'll bet right now. I'll bet you right now. It's not happening. Bobby, I disagree with you 100%. They're peaking to nothing. They do this every year. Every year, they convince everybody that the Dallas Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl. They do this every year.
Out? So the Eagles, you are the 49ers?
I don't know what happened to the Eagles, man.
49ers?
There was a good comment about Eagles going through the gambit the last couple of games. Playing some really hard football. They may be a little tired. That's all that mean. I looked at them like they do look a little out of it. They got beat up by the 49ers. They may need to regroup a little bit. But remember, we talked about the 49ers. They didn't look all that great either. But then all of a sudden, they're on a tear. And their offensive package is like amazing.
I think the 49ers are the favorite right now, as long as they stay healthy. They have a lot of guys on that team. Deebo Samuel,
right?
Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. Three of their main top offensive guys. Trent Williams, they're all-pro offensive tackle. Those four guys get hurt a lot. They miss time.
That's true.
And Deebo's missed a little bit. George Kittle might have missed a game. I think Trent Williams missed 2 or 3. So they've been okay this year, but if any of those guys kind of go down, they're not going to do much in the playoffs.
Sure.
So it's dependent on health more than most years.
I don't know who's going to come out. I just know the Cowboys won't. They're not going to come out. They're not coming out of the NFC. They're going to get kicked off somewhere. They're going to disappoint. They're going to underperform. Yes, they won 5 in a row. And this is what happens every single year. Yes, Dak Prescott has a great line in terms of his career. Is doing great. It's not going to happen.
You're not wrong. I mean, right now, though, he's in the MVP. And Dak Prescott is in the MVP conversation right now.
I mean, 10-3. I mean, there's a few teams, the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Ravens are 10-3.
I think the Ravens are pretty good this year.
So we'll see. But yeah, Dallas Cowboys, they're not going anywhere. It's not happening.
So Big Carl says that they won't make it to the playoffs. Get out of here, man. They're making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna make it to the playoffs.
They're basically
it's first game. What they're gonna do? How many interceptions is Dak's gonna throw in this playoff game? Because it's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I know. I'm just listen. I'm a Giants fan. Why would I care about the Cowboys?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't. But yeah. So yeah. Other than that, nothing really. No big surprises. I mean, teams are doing well. The bad ones are the bad ones. Sad for CJ Stroud from the Houston Texans. He got hurt. I think shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay because he was exciting player to watch and stuff like that. So we'll see what happened with him. But on that note, you want to just jump in?
Let's jump in.
Talking about
friends and money and alienation.
Okay, so the reason why I brought this topic up, guys, so it's how to it's funny how to lose friends and alienate people. I didn't look that up. I just wrote it down and I just put it out like, oh, we need a chat. I was watching something obviously, and I was like, yeah, let's talk about this because I think this is extremely important. I know you guys kind of talked about a few things in the chat. I'll say right now, won't be going too in depth with specific examples of anyone in this because it's not January yet. Not gonna be talking about any lawsuits or court things because I found this really interesting, guys. And you guys let me know if you are in any kind of legal issue. The first thing you're supposed to do is not talk about it publicly, right? Pedro, like I don't know I've never been sued before. I've never been arrested before. I know it's a surprise for you guys. I've never been arrested before. Never really been in a kind of. I've had a summons, had to go to court, and they just told me don't do it again. I forgot what it was. What was I doing? I had a summons for something. Oh, did you? This is some dumb shit. It's some cornball shit. Some fucking cop gave me a ticket because I had a dog off the leash in a park.
Fuck that cop. That's stupid.
I had to go to court for that. But anyway, they just said don't do it again. Dumb. So, but I know when you are in some kind of legal issue, the last thing you're supposed to do is talk about it publicly. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Good comment from you don't talk about it unless you are a locale. Yeah, the problem is I want you guys to timestamp this. You can clip it, you can short it, you can do whatever, you can share it. You guys ready? January. It's going to be a bad stream for a couple of individuals because we're going in and we come with facts and we come with intelligence, and it's going to be bad for some people in January. You guys are going to really, really be entertained because I drove to Kansas City. I had 8 hours of driving the last 2 days. On Saturday, I was chill. I saw some things. Hannibal's been watching. He's been telling me. I have not been watching. I caught up on some shit this weekend. So your boy's preparing, and you guys are going to be in some deep trouble.
Well, hopefully things improve in that situation. But in terms of I'll talk to you guys about why I decided that we could have kept going, but we realized I took a step back, or at least we took a step back. We'll talk about all of that. But the reason why I want to bring this up because yes, this is not just content creators or locales, but we all have been a victim of either dealing with people or ourselves where we've lost friends and alienated people. Yeah. So it has to be something that's more, more general. I know, Carl, I know you said y'all been put on notice. Nice. Listen, what's the record? What's the record for the Bears?
We have 6 wins.
You got 6 wins. Okay, so you got shit. So we're still 4-8. So
I think we got 6. Yeah, we got 6.
Yeah. All right. So I got to get
more than you guys, but you guys need this win tonight. So I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Let's go. Let's go. But we all have been in positions where we have lost friends.
Yes.
And we have alienated people. So it's like a two-parter. It's how you do it, just everyday people dealing with your friends, your family, whatever. And then obviously we'll talk about content creators or a content creator. How do you get to a point where you do become someone that maybe people make fun of, or you're not growing, or you having problems with multiple people every single day? So it's a two-parter. But I'll be a little personal here.
You want to read that?
Yeah, go ahead, Pedro.
All right. It's been a real pleasure doing business with you, gentlemen. Here's to many more years to come. Yeah, there's a lot. Listen, we're going to hold on some things for January, but if you know, you know. We are going to bring facts and truth to the locales, but Silicone, thank you very much for the $49.99 super chat on YouTube. Thank you.
Well, one thing I know about Nothing But Silicone is this person looks like Cardi B. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There's
it looks like Cardi B. It's an avatar.
Like Cardi B. Cardi B broke up with Offset again.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't care. Would you? Cardi B?
Is that a real question?
I don't know, because I know you don't like too much processed booties and stuff. So I gotta talk.
Yeah,
like because she's been altered a lot though. Like
yeah. That's
Nicki Minaj kind of.
That's not my type, but she still looked good. Well, yeah, I'm smashing Cardi B, 100%.
Okay, Nova says all about them cheeks.
What
are you talking about? It's all about them cheeks.
Yeah, a lot going.
But yeah, I'm gonna get a little personal, a little bit, not too many details. But a cousin of mine visited my mom's house a couple of days ago, actually, a week or two ago, and he was, young guy in his 20s, did not leave us with a good impression on his behavior. A little bit, young guy, entitled, has some issues. But that's kind of why I brought this topic up, because you can alienate people. Obviously, like you were saying earlier with accountability, it could become a problem, right? So what I say is how you can alienate and lose friends, alienate people is, first thing is, I think the first one is complaining a lot. When you complain a lot, you're always talking about what's wrong. You're not positive. You're not happy about much of anything. You're always complaining. And not necessarily, I mean, if you're complaining, as going back to the content creator, you complain and it's entertaining, fantastic. But if you always finding the wrong into something, that's annoying. Because eventually you're like, why am I even talking to you? If every time I know if I'm gonna meet up with so-and-so, they're going to complain about their day, their situation, their relationships, their job, but not really talking about what they're doing about it. Is just they just want to vent. And I don't think that's healthy to always be venting.
And if you complain about everything, then nothing's wrong. If you complain about everything, then what's the reality? Like, not everything is bad, right? So if you're just constantly complaining, your reality's skewed, and that's a horrible existence, in my opinion. I think it's okay to complain and bitch and moan, and I do it. Okay, but it can't be your whole personality. It can't take over your day without having a solution, something, right? An adjustment. Like, you cannot look
at least like that's a good word, an adjustment. I know maybe that may feel like you need to change, do a completely 180 and change everything. No, not necessarily. Just an adjustment, like a little bit, like a little tweak. This has nothing to do with the topic, Pedro, but Pedro fell in Cardi Batcave. What does that even mean?
What happened?
Oh, look.
I got no problem with it. I got no problem with it, Roy. No problem at
all. Joe says, should I stop complaining about being trolled for the last 6 years because I'm really butthurt? So, like, for anyone who does have that, right? It reminds me of school, where the one kid that gets bullied or picked on, if they keep crying about it and making no adjustments, it just keeps happening. But when they adjust and change it up, either fighting back, a lot of them, things change. But there needs to be an adjustment, not I'm just gonna keep complaining about it and do nothing to change it. It has to make some moves to turn from always being negative to doing something about it, right?
There has to be, man. I just I just don't like people that just complain and do the same shit and expect a different result. It's just we have to be more grown up, man. It's okay to complain and and bitch or cry or moan or whatever, but like to just be talking about the same stuff and always complaining and not adapting and re-strategizing and moving, you're not moving on when you say you're going to move on, and I'm done talking, but it cries weakness. And for me, I personally kind of take offense. I shouldn't, but this is part of my weakness. I have a lot of growing up to do with certain things. But like when I see people that play the victim or always complaining and crying and I'm going to call this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to, they're acting just irrational and very emotional. It gives real victims and people that really have real life shit going on. It disrespects those individuals. I know some people in my life that really had a tough way of it, a tough life, And those individuals sometimes are more upbeat and positive and grateful than people that I know that are complaining about insignificant things, right? So
Yeah.
it just rubs me in the wrong way when I see people that act like that. It's very weak. It's just very weak. And I think we got one life, man. I had a great day yesterday. I saw my brother, football game, a great dinner, a meal. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things happening in this world. Nothing wrong with bringing those things to light, but life is more good than bad. And I choose to look at it that way. And I think if you look at everything with a negative mindset, you're going to probably attract those kind of friends, and you're going to alienate good people because they don't want to be around you.
Yeah. Another one that I've noticed is selfishness, being rude, attacking people that are trying to help. And I guess go this with content creating too. If you are resentful of the audience and you're lecturing them, you're talking shit about them, you're calling them names, you're calling them out. If you continue to do that, you're not sustaining a healthy audience, an audience that likes you, looking forward to checking out your content, checking out your videos. You are developing an audience that resents you back. And then now is the toxic circle of resentment and anger where you don't like them, but they don't like you as much as you don't like. And I would never have a channel, or at least I enjoy myself having a channel where the people who watch me don't like me and I don't like the people watching me. Then what's the point of what kind of relationship is this? This is like a really toxic relationship.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think to give some empathy to individuals that have channels like that, that's got to be a hard way to live. It's got to be a hard existence.
So it's like a frustrating.
Camera on, people are hate watching you and making fun of you. That sucks. How stressful could that be? I get some hate on YouTube, but like I get more love, so it feels good to make content and to have an opinion. And people won't always like you, and that's okay. But like to have to go on YouTube and try to get people to like you, and it's it sounds exhausting. We see some people that have channels and all kinds of niches. And it's just like, how can you live like that? It's just so negative, man. And it's so like they're so like we watch them and it's like they have no trust in anybody.
Right.
Everybody got out to get them, and that's a horrible way to live. Like that sucks, man.
Yeah. And they may have experiences that created them to act this way. Yeah. But also I realized a lot of people who are always in this kind of this mood where this mood does push people away is they want too much control. They want everything to go their way. Everyone needs to say the thing I want them to say. Everyone needs to agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, if you criticize me, then I don't like you. And actually you're a hater and you're an illiterate scumbag, or you kind of an illiterate degenerate scumbag. Either one, you could just put those words in like Legos. You're a terrible person. I don't want you around me. Or you guys are haters, or you're racist. Oh, you don't like me because you guys are racist. And let me show you a bunch of clips about racism because that's the only reason. There's no other way or no other reason why you don't like me. It's because you're racist, right? Like control. And that's you're gonna alienate some people when instead of you saying maybe I am the problem. Yeah. If you're not, if you don't have that, it's just not gonna work. That self awareness.
It's just weird to see people. It's the hypocrisy and the irony in some things that they say. I watched more than I like to admit in the last 2 days because I've been in the car for 8 hours and I'm listening. I'm like, what?
I'm sorry about that, man. That must have.
What did that person just say? That like, it's just weird. It's just very weird and it's so cringy. It's like it's like cringy and you're listening and watching. It's like, this is so bad that it's good. I'll admit, it's so bad that it's good. It's cringy and it's just awful. And they don't understand. They don't know what they don't know. And it's just like, it makes me so sad, man. Like, it's just, January's going to be fun. We're going to embarrass some people. And I think, we're going to start some trouble and that's okay. It's been a little while, but we're going to let some of these locales in these communities, we're going to put them on notice because their behavior is very feminine and it's not in a good way. I love women, but these dudes act like they're like these guys and I'm a man, and they have a lot of they lack emotional intelligence, and their energy is very opposite of what they try to portray to their audience. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Big Carl says if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. I know if you mentioned that as well. How do you look at that? I know you've mentioned that where if people aren't having a problem with you, that you're doing something right, but where's the line between
Yeah,
maybe you are
I,
doing something wrong
I
or
think
there is some legitimate
yeah,
criticism?
I think that's a good point. I think the only reason Hannibal and I give certain people attention is because they lie about us and they assume things and they try to slander us. And I've heard some things.
Right.
We're getting paid to do this, and I can't. Just the continual thing, bringing up Madison, like the continual stuff, and it keeps going and happening. So at some point, like you just want to defend and you want to say, "Hold up, this isn't." I'm going to call you back out because, if it's one thing to say, "Hey, Pedro, I think you're this," or "I don't like your hair," or
Yeah.
"Man, you're annoying," or I can
Oh,
take all.
you actually had, I think you had a short where
Yeah,
you met someone. Tell me about
yeah,
that real quick.
yeah. So I was actually driving back from Kansas City today, and I was in Boonville, Missouri. I had to get something to drink and some gas. And a lady at the pump says, "Pedro," I turn around. And this happens sometimes, but usually not in the middle of nowhere. This Boonville is a very small town in the middle, right in the middle of Missouri. I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" She goes, I used to watch you more. I used to like you more when you were positive." And I said, it kind of made me pause, right? And because I'm both positive and negative. I am who I am, right? But I used to be a lot more positive in the beginning of YouTube, right? And I said, I respect that. I respect the honesty. I said, "Are you still a gig worker?" "No, I don't do it anymore, but I still watch. I respect your channel, but you're just too negative for me." I said, I respect that. I appreciate, I took it because she was being honest. And as a
Yeah.
content creator, not everybody's gonna like you. And she had the balls to say something and say hello, and she didn't do it disrespectfully. And I actually, I actually, that's good. I like that kind of constructive criticism because she's not wrong. And I could, I think I'm glad that she said that to me. She kind of checked me a little bit, and I like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important to have. So let's just get into how to never grow as a content creator, like how you'll never make the kind of money you want, how you're
mm,
always going to be struggling.
mm.
It's just not going to happen.
So hey, real quick before
Yeah.
I'm glad you're bringing it up because I want to give my great friend Hannibal some love real quick.
Oh,
Hannibal started his channel in the gig economy. Both of us did about the same time. He has transitioned his channel over the last several months, and he is
I have
killing it.
trans. Sorry.
Yes, he's. He can't even take.
Sorry.
He got,
Yeah,
listen,
I can't take anything seriously.
videos, and he's getting crazy views. He did it the right way. So when we talk about growing channels, you have to adapt, try different things. If you don't like doing something, try something else. And you've done that. So I just want to give you some love because if you don't know, check out Hannibal's Hungry. He's killing it over there, and he's going to get, he's going to continue to grow because he's smart and he knows that he knows how to make great content and not worry about the outsiders. So I just wanted to give you some flowers there, my friend.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Trying to pivot a channel is difficult.
Very,
YouTube doesn't really want you to do that. They want you to stick with one topic. But it was a lot of experimenting and pushing things, and I think some of the stuff we want to talk about helps with
yeah,
all content and anything, improving anything in life. And I think the reason why certain people are stuck where they are is because they ignore these things. So this is stuff
yes,
I wrote down real quick.
great point.
When you ignore feedback, when your audience is telling you something as a collective, they're telling you we don't like this or you should do this. If it's happening where enough people are telling you and you ignore it and you say, no, you're just hating. Oh, let me tell you why you're wrong. And
Yeah,
it's always a rebuttal instead of saying, you know what, like with Pedro, someone said, yeah, you could be a little more positive. And Pedro
yeah,
took a thought about it, like, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Not
yeah,
saying, no, you're wrong. Look at all my videos. I've explained this to you.
great
Go through
point.
all 5,000 of my videos and look it up because you have time. Like that, that kind of attitude.
You know
Help.
what's interesting, real quick? Thanks, Thunder, for the $10. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
You know what's
Thunder. Appreciate it.
the thing we have to remember about as viewers and content creators, right? We're all viewers and we're all content creators. Some of us are both here in the chat, and both of us are both ourselves, right, Hannibal? But we have to remember the algorithm will show you things that they think you like or things that you've watched. So if you're somebody that's a viewer that watches a lot of negative content, that's what YouTube's going to show you. If you're
Yeah.
somebody that likes positive stuff, like the lady I ran into, Sarah, that was her name. I ran into her today. She probably likes the positive kind of Pedro videos. So that's what they show her. But then if she clicks on one that's negative, she's not used to that. So not all your viewers are going to watch all your content, all your videos. YouTube will recommend certain things based on things that they've thumbs up, things that they've liked, comments that they've left. So we have to understand that our viewers, most of them aren't watching every single thing. So we, as content creators, should not expect them to know everything about us. Sometimes all they know is,
and that's comments. It's not common. It's not common, but for me or like for you, it's common sense. Like, hey, just because I made a video and you didn't watch it, I'm gonna chastise you and saying, why didn't you look at all these videos I did? Like, it don't work that way. Just because subscribers is not as important as it used to be. It's watch time and viewer, how many videos you watch of this particular creator, because there's tons of videos that are recommended to me, and I watch a lot of YouTube on my TV. I know most of you guys probably watch it on your phone. I watch it on TV. A lot of times I don't subscribe to the channel I'm enjoying because I'm watching on TV. I'm not going to keep going back and forth. So they show me stuff, and I haven't subscribed to these creators ever. But when I go onto my YouTube, they're recommending these things. So
good point.
That makes sense. Thank you, Joe. The only opinion that matters is your own. Source, he should not be named. I mean, at the same time, yes, you want to make sure that you are not being swayed by every little thing. But when you ignore feedback, and I've seen it from many of these creators, they're telling you what you're doing wrong, and they're just ignoring it. And when you ignore people's feedback, it makes them feel unvalued. They have no value. Like, what? Wow, you don't really care what I have to say. And eventually they'll stop watching. Like, what's the point?
And the only people that will continue to watch are the 20 to 100 people that don't like you or want to hear their own name. And that's not going to really make you money on YouTube, and it's not going to grow your brand, right? There's billions of people that watch YouTube on a daily basis. So if you're just going to, as content creators, if we just continue to make, and this is okay, maybe you want that, right? But if you're a content creator that continues to make the same stuff and never tries to try something different, and if you don't listen to your audience and look at your analytics, then you're just going to talk to the same 20 people, and that's what you're going to get. And that could be fine. But, I see people talking about wanting to build and do this and do that, but their actions show the exact opposite of that sometimes, which is very strange to me.
Yeah. It's not working, especially if you've been doing this for a while and it's not working. Like I said, make those adjustments. And again, having a negative attitude, being negative, being disrespectful. I've seen this too many times, especially with locals. They will chastise people in their chat. I've never sat, and I don't do a lot of, thank you, Gagady. Appreciate it. I don't do a lot of live streams, only apart, hanging out with you. I would not be in the chat cursing people out. Hey, F you, because you ain't listening to this shit. Fuck you, motherfucker, and get off my channel and watch the other 10,000 videos first before you leave, bitch. And blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like it just, that attitude you'll never grow anything.
No.
Talking that way to your people who took the time to spend. The most valuable thing to me is time. They take the time to watch and click your shit, and you giving them the business because they're not saying or doing the thing you want them to do. It boggles the mind. It just does.
I don't know about that. Mondo, what's up, brother? I don't know about that. That's the first time hearing about some kind of show like that.
Oh, there's shows out there.
Pedro curses me out. Well, Bobby, you deserve it sometimes. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, then there's always exceptions to the rule. You don't curse out Bobby. What Bobby do?
Bobby, I heard he's lost like over 30 pounds, man. Good job, bro. On some real shit. Some good stuff.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up. That takes a lot of goddamn effort.
Absolutely.
I can't lose anything because I'm not trying. But
well, you just gotta stop eating burritos at 1 a.m. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I can do is like work out or just take Adderall. You lose appetite when you take Adderall, and that's a weight loss plan.
I had somebody told me the same thing today, and I didn't know that you lose the appetite with Adderall. I was talking to my brother and his wife about stuff.
Yeah,
mentioned ADHD and I didn't know loss of appetite was a side effect.
Yeah, so like if you really you take one, if I take one, I don't have to eat for about 12 hours.
That's crazy.
8 to 12 hours eat. But it's good for weight loss. Probably not good for health or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends. Everybody's macros in their body and what they require is different,
Right.
But I think, man, I 12 hours is a long time to go without food. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's probably not what I mean, unless you're doing an intermittent fasting thing where I think you do like, what's it, 12 hours you don't eat, and then But
yeah, I've done some fasting here, even recently, 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. But I'm on this little kick for the next 6 months. I'm trying to gain about 10 pounds, and I've actually gained 4 in the last 7.
Oh, look at a muscle man over here.
Taking that creatine, doing 150 push-ups a day, roughly.
Yeah.
Trying to feel this better,
Yeah.
And it feels good. It feels exercise, health should be at the top of most of our minds, and it's not.
Yeah.
Right. But we only got one body, man. So you got to take care of it, because as you start getting older, if you don't, there's going to come a point where you're just in the hospital a lot, or you're not feeling great, and it's not any way to live. And I got a 2-year-old, so I'm trying to make sure I'm feeling good when she's 20 and I'm 60. I still need to be in decent shape.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm probably gonna cheat and jump over you, because once I pump the HGH, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, Pedro, what's going on?"
Hannah was gonna show up to one live. He's gonna be like, "No shit. Like,
what's going?
Cock Diesel.
You got a problem with me?
You look like Busta Rhymes, like just big.
Pull up.
Gray,
What's up? Nothing but so-called ice them out. You don't use those terms, and then the next video, they're gonna ask me out it. Listen.
Anyway, listen. No, we're taking. Just.
Well, he will receive an invite. I'll say that. So he will receive an invite to defend himself.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see.
And Bobby says he eats see, that's hard for me, because when after late nights where everyone's sleeping and there's nothing to do, and the fridge is there, or the cookies are there, or whatever, I'm just nibbling and eating ice cream sandwiches. And then also, I'm in New York City. I can go to the store at 1 o'clock in the morning downstairs from where I'm living in an apartment building. I can go downstairs and go in the store and buy food.
You've got one right there, bro. I didn't even mention this. I saw your post about the can of tuna for like $4. That's crazy.
So inflation, and that's from a bodega. So everything is way more expensive in bodega. Like, you should not really buy groceries in a bodega. It's for sandwiches, for snacks, it's for drinks, it's for small stuff. You need to go to a grocery store, you get a better deal. But no, things are getting ridiculously expensive. And then, I know we don't talk about DoorDash a whole lot here, but the idea now you can order and don't tip. Oh, you don't have to tip, because the tip is not there until the end of the trip, and no one tips at the end. So but then even then, everything is $2 more, and the restaurants are going to add their add-on fees because DoorDash takes more. So everything is going to be super goddamn expensive. Yeah. So that's why I need to figure some out. I need a job or something. I don't know. It's going to be hard to afford living in New York City. And there's tolls coming next year to go to Manhattan. Yeah.
Oh, you guys
lower in mid Manhattan is going to be a toll to drive from there.
All of us.
Yeah, I think it's a 12-hour toll, like from in the morning to night, I think, for cars. Yeah. Only emergency vehicles are exempt. Cops, the ambulance, I think that's about it.
I will say this. I don't want to be, I know times are tough for a lot of people. So I hope this doesn't come across as being insensitive, but I got to speak my truth. I will say this. Things are expensive. Can of tuna, $4, yeah. But there are a lot of people that just either try to go without the extras, or they meal prep, they plan, they don't go out to eat, they don't go DoorDash, they don't get DoorDash 5 days a week. If you're somebody getting DoorDash 5 days a week, that's why you're struggling, people. So we have to understand, you can go to Aldi's in the store, and not everything's crazy prices. It's going to be more than it was 20 years ago, yeah. But we have to understand, I think a lot of us expect, I want to eat great, I want to eat good, I want steak and pasta and lobster. Like, you might need to eat ramen, make a sandwich. Nothing wrong with making some pasta, eating some chicken on sale at Costco, cooking it, freezing it. Like, we have to think smarter about how we eat and how we spend our money if you're struggling, right? So we can't let the man win, because they want to raise prices on everything, but we have to be smart. We have to do things that we can do to control our own money and be smarter about it. I think a lot of us aren't smart enough when it comes to financial situations. That's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to do without, to a certain extent, and I think this is something that naturally happens with everyone. You can't go out you can't DoorDash 3 times a week. You may have to do it twice or maybe once. You just run out, especially now we all spending all our money on Christmas presents, already spending money on that. Didn't finish because my son's birthday is basically a week or two after Christmas. So it's like the birth is the Christmas, then January 6th birthday. It's so presents coming all over the place. So money's gonna, be a priority. So I may have to go back out there, turn on the car, pick up some McDonald's, give it to someone.
Getting them guaranteed dollars and the pay adjustments. So you good.
I may just walk real slow.
Yeah, just walk, walk that dog and walk that McDonald's.
What is the slowest restaurant? It's like it's like, what's the slowest one? So I can just be chilling. I'm like, hey, it don't matter. And isn't that interesting now? Like, is there still a hustle where it doesn't matter? I mean, there's no hustle anymore, right?
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's just weird what they did in New York because they're just evening everything out. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but I'm gonna wait about 6 months and see what the driver's perspective is, and if they're making more, that's fantastic. But the consumers are just getting, and drivers are consumers too, so everybody's just getting screwed. And some, it's just so expensive. Everything's so expensive, but we'll see. I mean,
think about LA though. How many people, when we were hanging out with a lot of those gig workers, how many of them said I hate it? I don't remember hearing anyone say I hated.
I say they hated it. No.
So I feel like it's going to be similar with the New York thing. I think people are going to look at that pay adjustment and be like, ooh. Even though there's circumstances and there's probably situations that they're not seeing yet that may become a problem, but extra money is extra money. So
it is. And
we'll see.
I think Hannibal and I have been on a similar wavelength as far as this kind of work can be good for some people and for all their money. But I always say this is a side hustle. The best way to feel good about your money is if you got money coming from different places, multiple places. And the gig economy is going to be really hard on most of us if it's all your money and you've been doing it for several years. It's going to be tough, and it's going to continue to be tough, right? Yeah. So we have to try to figure out other ways to make some dollars,
Yeah. Power to people. Never let the man win. Who's the man? Bobby, you're the man.
Bobby.
I don't know about this, Bobby, because apparently Giggity says, Bobby, I got some protein for you. I don't know what kind of protein he's talking about, Bobby.
Is the man. That's the man. Somebody just
listen. I know there's a lot of meat talk inside the chat right now, which is totally fine because that's expensive too, right? Like you trying to get some of the red meats. The red meats are extremely expensive. I don't eat a lot of pork. I was raised not to eat it really, so I don't eat a lot of pork. It's chicken. Get tired of eating chicken.
Well, it's good though. I mean, y'all just listen. Have blood. I spent way too much money yesterday, but that just means that I'm gonna not do anything for the rest of this week, right? I'm not gonna eat out. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to know what you can spend and don't go over that.
Do you guys eat a lot in your household? Like you guys consume a lot of food? I know it's a dumb question, but I'm just wondering
No, not really, because Madison does not eat a lot. She eats certain select things that we always got to have here. Ruby's a little kid, so she doesn't really eat a lot either. And I do eat out a lot, and I'm very on the go, right? As you know, but so we don't, we go to Aldi, and I cooked tonight, made tacos, and that was good, but that didn't cost that much when you cook at home. If I would have DoorDashed some Chipotle or even Taco Bell, I would have spent 3 times as much money to feed the 3 people, right?
Yeah, because
walked my happy ass to Aldi, got a few things. I had a few things here already, and I fed 3 people for $14. So we just have to know how to spend the money that we have, the little money that we have.
Yeah, I mean, chicken is fine and it's affordable. I'm getting tired of chicken. I know that's a very crazy thing to say, especially the person I am. But at the same time, I'm getting tired of chicken. I want to try some other stuff.
Are you saying black people like chicken?
They love chicken. I mean, we all love chicken, obviously. I mean, Asian people love chicken. The one thing I remember doing DoorDash in Queens,
Asians eat a lot of duck.
It was back-to-back KFC deliveries. I remember, and it was always going to Asian couple back-to-back KFC. I don't know if people even care about KFC anymore. Nobody talks about, but I remember it would be back-to-back. I'm like, these guys love KFC. I keep going back to this building over here. And just
I can eat wings every day.
I could too, but that's not healthy.
It is. I don't, but I could. That's how much I love a good crispy wing.
Yeah.
lemon pepper or buffalo. Give me some ranch or blue cheese. I can eat that shit every day, man.
Yeah. But that doesn't really help us.
Yeah.
Not health.
We got a question for you. And yeah, have you ever had duck, man?
I love duck.
Yes.
Peking duck. That's the one I've ate the most. And when my chick used to work in Queens, before she comes home, I would yell at her and tell her to buy her, either half of a duck or a whole one. I love it. I like the grease, the taste. It's. I wish we had more duck around our society, in my opinion. But yeah. Thunder says Flex spends $50K a year on Cuban sandwiches, and that's not bad. That's very expensive.
I bet Flex probably spends a lot of money on his eating out budget, but he can clearly afford it. Otherwise, he wouldn't do it, right? So
yeah, he's like. But yeah, is there anything else you want to, in terms of capping off this? I think we said a good amount of how to lose friends, alienate people.
Yeah, and I think we have to remind ourselves, YouTube's a great place. I love YouTube. I've met Hannibal on YouTube and many other people that I have great relationships with. It's a great place to connect in a time when a lot of us feel maybe alone, or maybe you're socially, you just feel awkward at times. I get all that. So you come to YouTube, you want a connection, a community. That's what YouTube's for, right? But we got to remember, man, you ain't got real friends on YouTube. Okay, so you have to realize, like, we think we know people, but we don't, man. I see a lot of people assuming things, and this is my friend, and then they're not friends a month later, and they're this, and people stab each other in the back. It's the internet, right? So my only challenge, I guess, or whatever, is like, it is the internet. You're gonna alienate people naturally, right? But like, try to actually have good, meaningful relationships outside of YouTube, and like have your friends, your family, people that you know. That's going to be way more impactful than any kind of live chat or argument. Just use it as entertainment, or use it as a way to learn. But I think I do see some people that they look at the internet as a place to like have these like true friendships, and that's not going to be normal for most people, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you need to take it offline. So like, I think you can form friendships once you kind of have the phone conversation, or even something as a video call. It's not the same, but taking it out of offline, you really get to know the people. So like, as much as how crazy some people think the whole YouTube thing is, all the people we've met, or at least me, met content creators or people who watch the channels, all seem pretty cool. Some are more quiet than others. Some are very talkative, but everyone seems cool when you see each other in face to face. So that's why I really treasure those times when we hang out with people in reality. So even if there was maybe a issue, talk it out in front on a table, or eating food, or hanging out outside, smoking or drinking or something. You remove all that animosity when you meet people face to face. So I think that's important.
Saying we recommend, like, meet some people, and some of you guys in the chat maybe have met other people from YouTube. It's a great thing, but we got to live. We got to have meaningful, impactful relationships, and not alienate each other online, and it seems bigger than it really is. It's not that big of a deal. Some of y'all don't know each other, right? You don't really know each other. So be mindful of how much energy we're investing in people online. We can do it for entertainment and poke jokes and make fun of the locales because it's easy and it's fun. But like, we shouldn't be losing sleep over each other. You know what I mean?
Right. I hope not. I mean, there are some situations, and I guess we'll have those conversations before. But I think you should meet new people. Bobby says, don't bust my bubble. Giggity's my bestie, which makes it. You guys have a lot of things in common, actually. You guys usually say to Bobby. What was it?
Funny. They might be the same person. We don't know. Maybe they
wait, have they ever been in the same chat? I think they're in the same chat talking right now, but
they have two phones and they're both typing.
We need to hang out. I don't know where you are, Bobby, but we need to hang out. I only associate with YouTube personalities. You guys are my world. You guys are ridiculous. Bobby said he met two people meet more people.
That's good.
If they're around and they're not weird. Also, if they're not weird, Bobby, don't put yourself in any position to deal with some of these weirdos. Pedro sounds like Jesus. Jesus said to the people, "Do you really know me?"
Did he? I have no idea. Is that true?
I don't know. I have not read the Bible, guys. So I always thought I was one of the books I wanted to read, but that looks long as shit. And
Yeah.
my chick read it, so I'll just ask her what it's about. So
yeah, I'm good. I've read a few snippets. I read enough. I'm good. Let's not get tonight.
Pedro, you gotta listen. You gotta read, man. Reading is good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not that though. It is boring though. It's boring.
Look, man, I don't want us to get canceled, so I'll just stop before I say something.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't be a heathen. All right. Believe in the Lord. Giants are still winning. 21-16. Okay. We got two minutes left, but the Packers got the ball.
And they do in the red zone, aren't they? They are.
Shit. Yeah.
First
16. First and goal. God damn it.
Damn. Son. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an update on a Miami game. Oh, I need 2 more points from the
touchdown.
Defense.
It's already touchdown.
Let's see. 20-13. The Dolphins are winning. There's 5 minutes. Yeah. So
Tyree got hurt. He's not playing right now, right?
Did he? I don't know. He got hurt?
He came off. I'm gonna check. He came off the field. I think it was a collar tackle, and he kind of fell backwards, kind of low, like those weird twisted takedowns. So I don't know. Right now, Tua has not thrown a touchdown.
And Hill only has 61 yards. So that's for him. That's like 100 less than his. And they looks like they've been running the ball pretty efficient, but no touchdown from Tua, no interception. So
see
what happens here. Yeah,
what you got? I mean, I know we had some. We talked about the Dolphins earlier in terms of early this year. Do you still think they're gonna do something special? I mean,
their defense has been really good. The last 5 or 6 weeks, the Dolphins defense has been scoring touchdowns. They've been pretty solid, and the offense is very potent. You don't want to play the Dolphins, even if you're the Ravens or the Chiefs or the Bills. If they make it, the Ravens or the Miami Dolphins are not going to be a team you want to play. They could explode and score touchdowns at a very fast clip. So I can see they might make some noise in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah. Bobby has a question. The Rockets have a better record than the Clippers, like I told you. Thoughts? Interesting.
Okay, let me read that again. Rockets have a better record than the Clippers, like I told you. Listen, you're right to this point. Still really early, but the Rockets have definitely I think the couple signings that they got were really good.
Good coach.
Coaches helps. I still think at the end of the year, the Clippers are going to have more wins than the Rockets. I'm still going to stand by that. But great point.
They got to listen. It doesn't work. The mix of the talent isn't working.
Wrong.
I mean, is Harden going to turn this shit around? I mean, 15 points a game. That's not good enough in the West.
No, it's not.
So I don't know. But they will. First, they got to get in the playoffs, and see where they're going to go and what they'll do. Maybe they kind of just how the older vet teams they kind of slow it down and then turn it up towards the end. We'll see. Yeah. Zion is fat. What else is going on in the NBA? Zion is fat. Your Lakers.
Oh, the Lakers. Oh, they won the first.
Yeah. Congratulations to Pedro's Lakers. Won the first championship, mid-season championship. Why are we all clowning it? It's funny how we clown it online, but we all enjoyed it. At least I thought. It was very competitive. People cared. The players cared. Why are we clowning it? I don't know.
That was entertaining, don't you think? I thought the smashing success for the first time, and players were involved. I mean, a couple of guys in the Lakers basically doubled their salary.
Yeah.
From them winning that. So I think LeBron even mentioned, "Hey, I got some of these young guys."
Him and AD played really like they really put the yeah.
So
I guess it's because LeBron won. So it was like I saw a meme. How many in mid-season tournaments did Jordan win? And it's like 0, and then LeBron has 1. Like it's more because LeBron won that I think we do the whole clowning thing. But it was a great idea. We both thought it was a dumb idea in the beginning. We thought it doesn't make any sense. It gets people to care a little bit. Get them. You get the NBA players to care. The game is better. So I think that works.
Good point.
Zion just dropped 36 tonight. He ain't fat. I'm sorry, Bobby.
Listen, 2 things can same time. You can score 36 and be fat.
I mean, Charles Barkley was banging on dudes for a minute. He was kind of heavy. Shaq was a bit heavy too. But Zion needs to still, he got to get that weight together, man. He jumps too high, he runs too hard.
He's eating those beignets. I think that's what they call them. Right?
The food down there is delicious, and that's why he's getting himself in trouble. That's probably it. Bobby knows. That's why Bobby had to take a step back. Hey, listen, I gotta get my health together. So, but guys, appreciate you coming through. I think hopefully, I know me and Pedro kind of tired. Hopefully Wednesday we can stay a little longer. Maybe have like a open panel situation. As long as you guys are not cool.
Listen, I think that's a good idea. If you guys are here and you want to come up and talk some stuff, we haven't really done that yet, have we?
Yeah, we haven't done it. And I think Mondo talked about this last week. Maybe we'll do. Maybe I don't know if we'll do the inverse, how to win friends and influence people. I think they already wrote a book about that, so I don't know if we'll have that as a title. But we'll have something where we can have a group discussion. If you're interested, we'll put the link up. If you guys want to talk about, and we'll have a bunch of people in here. And as long as you guys don't embarrass yourselves, I'm okay.
What are you talking about? I embarrass myself every week, so these guys are fine. Okay, I want somebody else to embarrass themselves. So yeah, and thanks for all the super chats tonight, guys. Silicone. Joe, there was somebody else in there. I think that gave one.
No, is the NBS Industries that had two.
Yes, and then Joe and Thunder, I believe. Right? Yeah. So appreciate that very, very, very much. That's all we got. Just wait till January. Listen, I'm gonna be. You guys know me. I like to be petty sometimes. Bobby knows. I think the best. Pedro that Bobby likes. He said it a few times. It's a petty Pedro, and I'm gonna go in on these locales in January. Wow. And I think he's going to be very measured, but he's going to bring his facts. I think we're going to have a good stream in January. We haven't even set the date, but these locales are just so funny, and I think I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. See, you got Pedro mad because you had to drive that long trip and had to listen to your nonsense.
Yeah, chill. I've been pretty chill, but weekend. I'm like, you know what, man? Let me listen to these clowns. And they just keep talking. I've heard so many things about gay people that were weird. Like these, and I don't even know how these people still have people watching. There's been a lot of nonsense I heard this weekend. So we'll address that in a couple of weeks. So.
We will. But we will be here on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. Central. And y'all figure out the rest of the times. I don't know what's going on. But on that note, guys.
Hackers. Sorry.
What? Hold on a second. Before we end this, friggin', you know what? Whatever.
But hey, the Giants are going to get the ball. They got a minute and whatever. They could kick a field goal and win. So you're good.
Yeah, I know. Mr. DeVito is going to bring the game home. He's not. They're going to lose. It's fine. Well, we'll see. I'm going to check it out right now. See you guys later. See you guys on Wednesday. Peace.